The dawn of civilization. Primitive. Dangerous. Exciting. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs
the most civilized caveman I have ever seen.
Look who's come out of his cave.
Hey everyone, this is James from Cave Dweller Music. Thanks for joining us today. I'm with my co-host Brendan. We are joined by not one but two guests today. We have Ryan, who has been on the show before. Welcome back, Ryan. And Fred, who is a new guest on the show from Sons of Arrakis, the Dune-themed stoner, would you say stoner doom band or stoner rock band?
Stoner rock band, I would say.
I'd say so too. Stoner rock band.
Dune band?
Stoner Dune?
Stoner Dune.
Second I saw your cover art and the name of the band and stuff, I knew I had to speak with you. There's not enough sci-fi themed or Dune themed bands out there.
I really like that you liked it.
Hey, awesome. And Fred, do you want to tell us about Sons of Arrakis?
Yes, of course. Actually, Sons of Arrakis is a band that was formed in June 2018 in Montreal. And it was first formed as a solo project that I had at the time. I was in the AZ Tones before, starting from 2015 to 2017. And when I left this band, I had a couple of riffs in my head and a couple of ideas that I wanted to try out. So I recorded them in my recording studio in Montreal that was called Gamma Recording Studio. So yeah, it basically started as a solo project. Every riffs, every ideas that I have in mind, I just recorded them in solo. And I was looking for a band. I was looking for a drummer because I'm not a drummer, man. I must say I can't really play drums. So I called this guy called Elliot Landry from a band in Montreal called Prieur et Landry. Really like this drummer, always did. So yeah, we basically recorded the first 5 pieces of Sons of Arrakis with him in June 2018, and after that we were looking for bandmates because Iliad was really ecstatic with those songs, and I called this bass player called Victor Lepage, which is our bass player at the moment. And he knew this guy called Francis Duchesne is the lead guitarist for Sons of Arrakis. So basically, this is how it started. And Sons of Arrakis is a band based on the universe of Frank Herbert, and of course, is known universe. So basically, that's it, man.
It's a good time to be a band with that focus because the Frank Herbert's work is finally getting the attention it deserves in the public eye.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, especially with the movies movies directed by Denis Villeneuve. It really basically have a lot of attention. So yes, I think it's a pretty good timing.
Yeah. I mean, the books have been popular in the sci-fi scene for decades and decades and decades, but now it's getting mainstream attention, which is really cool.
Yeah, totally. And I think that Denis Villeneuve really brings it on the front. It really brings it from the underground to the mainstream. And but I always liked the first time I read Dune. It wasn't announced yet that Denis Villeneuve was going to shoot the first movie. Right. So, yeah, Sons of Arrakis was kind of a form before the announcement of the first movie. So
that's
yeah,
right. My dad got me into it when I was a kid, by showing me that. Remember the original movie, the really old one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. The David Lynch movie.
Exactly.
Which is a really awkward movie, actually. I think it's kind of cringe, but it has some
slow,
cool aesthetic.
The special effects are so funny.
Exactly. Like the vintage kind of They
Flash
tried to be
Gordon.
modern at least at that time, and it was really something. But I think that really grew old uh, badly in a way. But I don't spit on David Lynch.
No,
On David
you can't.
Lynch film, it's really cool,
Yeah, no, David Lynch is untouchable.
untouchable for sure.
So, as far as music goes, I know that you just released a new single, really recently, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Actually, 3 weeks ago, maybe we on February 24th, we released our the first single that will come out on Volume 2, our second record. And yeah, it's really cool. It's called Scattering. It's a shorter song. Usually we do maybe longer songs, but this one
Mhm.
is maybe less than 4 minutes, and it's really maybe a more straightforward kind of single. Maybe poppier song with
Mhm.
articulate harmonies and you know you know really poppier melodies maybe on the vocals and all that stuff. So yeah,
Nice. And that's part of something bigger, obviously, that's coming. There's more singles and an album, right?
yes, of course, James, we have a second single that will come out on at the end of April, and this one is part of a bigger, larger picture.
Mhm.
Actually, we will release an album on June 7th of
Awesome.
this year. No worries, man. So
Got like three things open on my phone.
so basically,
Ryan,
we will release this album on June 7th, and we will do a release album party in Montreal on June 8th
Hell
at
yeah.
oh,
L'Esco
nice.
Griffe.
What's the place called?
L'Esco Griffe. Actually, you can call it Lesco.
And you guys have just recently been on tour, right, Fred?
Yes, of course, James. We've been on tour actually last week with a band called Silence Band from LA.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yes, it started in actually they started in Ottawa. They're Ottawa in a town called Gatineau on
Mm-hmm.
last Wednesday on February 28th, and then they came by to Montreal, my hometown, on February 29th, and we played at Lesco, the same place that we will do our album party release.
Nice.
So yeah, it started there, and then we headed to Quebec City, Sherbrooke, which is a small town, maybe 2 hours from Montreal, and Trois-Rivières, which is a city located like halfway between Quebec and Montreal. And after that, we headed to Ontario. So we did last weekend, we did Toronto and Hamilton. So yeah, it was really awesome to share the stage with those guys. Really awesome people, and yeah,
Nice. We just spoke to them last week actually about it, and they said they had a great time. Love playing with you.
yeah. Last Monday, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it was last Monday. That's great.
Yeah.
Brendan, I'm talking a lot. Did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I was gonna ask, what was your? Did you have a standout show, like a favorite one from the last
From
leg?
the last from the last leg of the tour, yes, of course. There was a big highlight actually in Toronto at the Bovine Sex Club. It's a mythical venue down on Queen Street, and there were maybe 120 people there, and everybody was really into it. It was a really awesome night too.
Oh yeah.
Cool lineup of bands. Started with the band Ox that you guys know, I think. Um, and after that, there were Tumble going on stage. With I think Tumble is one of my favorite Canadian band at the moment. It is really awesome, and the guys really know how to play, man. They're professionals. They're really professional, like especially like I really like Will, the drummer, and I really like the Liam, the lead singer of the band, and guitar player is he is awesome. And after that, there was Silence Band and us playing in around like 1 a.m. So it was a late show, but it was awesome, man. I must say, people were dancing around like they seemed really into it, and one of the guy in front sang almost all the lyrics, so I was really stoked about it.
Hell yeah.
But the Montreal was really cool too. There were maybe 150 people there, which is really cool for Lesco. It was basically packed, and yeah, we had a lot of fun. Basically, we played with in Montreal. We played with one of my favorite band too, called Destruction Derby. They were my friends, and really love their band. It's really awesome. It's more straightforward, kind of rock and roll. But in Quebec and Sherbrooke too, it was almost packed with 90 to 100 people there. So basically, all the shows in the Quebec leg were pretty solid.
That's
And in Ontario, of course, Toronto is always cool to play there. Hamilton was cool too. Maybe a little bit more. It was a more laid back show, but there was this guy from Rochester, New York, called Chris that showed up there only for us. So yeah, it was really amazing to see him and talk to him in person.
hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's really cool when you get to say hi and like get to put a face to it. It's really it's nice. There's been
yeah,
bands that I got to meet and say thanks for donating a song to our charity, or hey, thanks for the interview, and like it's really nice to be able to do that. It makes
yeah.
it a lot more real and meaningful. And then, not for nothing, it's pretty cool when they come around for another show. Then you're like, "What's up, guys?" It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And the first time I actually met this guy, Chris, from Rochester, New York, he basically went down, basically um, went to our show in Montreal a couple of months ago, and he went riding his motorcycle. So like basically 5 hours of motorcycle just to see us and for the Stoner Rock Army show. So yeah, it was basically really cool meeting with this guy. It
Hell
was
yeah,
really cool to see him again too.
that's definitely sweet. What was your getting out there, running around? What was your favorite place to stop by and eat? Any recommendations?
Stop and eat. Oh
Yeah.
my god! On the road we are pretty much McDonald's fan. I know it's a classic. My drummer and my bass player are really fanatic of McDonald's. So it's basically every time we stop. But a fine place, a fine restaurant. Uh, oh man, there was this microbrewery in Sherbrooke. I don't remember the name, but it was like in an old train station, which was
Okay.
really cool. Yeah, we took the time to eat there, and just beside the Bovine Sex Club, there's also a cool diner. It's really laid back, but we took the time to drink a beer and take chicken wings or something like that, and yeah, that
Uh,
was uh that was
there's
nice. But
some really cool diners that are around, like old
yeah,
school stuff, and then yeah, they do some
Just
exactly.
good
in
stuff.
defense of your McDonald's thing, whenever I travel to a new country, no matter what country, I try McDonald's because I always want to see what's different
Yeah,
because every country does McDonald's different.
exactly. Yeah, that's totally true, man. But we were in Canada, so it wasn't really different from where from
Well,
which
if I came up there, I'd
we
try
know.
it. Is
Yeah,
there
yeah.
anything specifically Canadian at your McDonald's? Like anything different that you guys have that no one else has?
Yeah, I
Poutine.
mean, yeah, for sure. They sell poutine, and
Huh.
I must say they're pretty decent kind of poutine in McDonald's in Canada. So yeah, I would say poutine. Poutine is a good answer actually, Brendan. So you guessed it right.
In Vietnam, they've got a whole pork menu,
Nice. That's pretty
which I think is
awesome
pretty
too.
cool.
For sure, man.
That's funny. Well, James, what is the best McDonald's?
New Zealand.
New Zealand?
Yeah, just the quality like of the actual food. Just New Zealand food quality is insanely high. It's
Yeah.
everything's like kind of farm to table-ish and organic. So I don't know, the meat's just like way better, like no hormones and stuff in it and
Oh yeah,
preservatives.
it's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah. I remember back in the chefing days, we would get lamb from New Zealand.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, New Zealand lamb's good.
Yeah. The way to do it. Yeah.
what do you do?
All right. Well, back to music and shows.
Yeah, for sure.
foods. What's your favorite song to play live?
Oh my God, it's a really tricky question. Actually, there is some tunes that we really enjoy to play live right now. It's our new songs.
Yeah.
Not that we don't like playing our old songs, like old, but the new songs are really interesting, especially the song "Blood for Blood." It's a really hard tune to play. It's a little bit more progressive, and there's um, it's a tricky riff, and I have to sing on top of it, and it took a while to cut it in a live context, to be honest. In rehearsal, that was something. I think it took like 5 jams to properly get these songs really tight, and um, another song would be Enslaved. I think it's called on the album. It will be called Burn into Blaze. So it's a more metal song, and then it has a verse that reminds a little bit reminiscent of Uncle Acid and Deadbeat. So
Nice.
and there's a big bridge at the end that it reminds me a little bit of the Sword. So yeah, there's a lot of complexity in all of those songs, and it's really interesting to play. It's a new challenge actually, so we're really stoked to be able to play them live.
Yeah, that's definitely sweet. I definitely picked up on some Uncle Acid influences for sure.
Yeah.
It's good. No, they're
Of course.
an awesome band.
Great band.
Yeah, totally. I really love them. Really like the vibe actually, the 70s vibe. I really like this, and I always was drawn to this kind of music particularly, and I really love their melodic sense of about their music. You know, the melodies are really beautiful, and it fits on above all of this.
Yeah.
But it has like a sleaze to it. There's a sleazy
Yeah.
undertone, which I like. It makes it different to other stuff out there.
Yeah. That's mini sleaze.
They have a cool sense of melodies and harmonies.
Mhm.
And yeah, as you said, it's kind of sleazy too. It's like I think it's only it must be the way he sings, you know,
Yeah,
coming
so.
from the nose, like Ozzy Osbourne or something. It reminds me a lot of Ozzy Osbourne singing.
Yeah.
definitely. Have you guys heard
It's got
an
good high
LA
notes.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Brandon.
Exactly.
I was gonna say, have you guys heard this new up and coming LA band called Early Moods?
Yeah,
They're
I know
really
Early
good.
Moods, but I didn't
Yeah.
took the time properly to listen to them. But I heard of them a lot of times lately, coming from different people, and I'm really curious about this band. I think it's gonna be my next discovery. So yeah, especially that it came to the subject tonight. I think I will definitely add it to my playlist as
Yeah.
soon as
I
soon
think
as
you'll
we
like them.
yeah, for sure, man. I think I listened to a couple of songs, and I was like, oh, what's this band? It was an early mood like came up a couple of times. So yeah, I'm sure that I will like it, and
I was the
can't
same
wait
because
to discover
kept
them.
I kept hearing about them from people as well, and I checked
Yeah.
them out, and I thought they were pretty good. But then I ended up seeing them open for Candlemass, and
Okay.
they outperformed Candlemass. They were like just the energy was amazing. They're really really good
Nice.
live. If they ever play by you, 100% check them out. Or if you can
It
play with
is
them, that would be sick. That would be a cool show.
that would be amazing, actually, for sure, man. It's yeah, Ryan, we have to follow this lead, maybe. Gotta do it. Gotta do it, man. Um, yeah, yeah, for sure. That would be a good proposition.
Yeah. Um, who inspired you to pick up a guitar and start playing?
When I was young, oh my God, man. I must say, man, my parents, my both of my parents were really into music when I was a child.
Yeah.
They were really, they really like I remember hearing Neil Young when I was young, Nirvana Unplugged, listening to Yes,
Mm.
Nice.
Close to the Edge, listening to some other kind of music in Quebec, like Daniel Bélanger, Jean Leloup, which is icons of Quebec music in French, and it really hooked me really hard,
Yeah.
and and it's, it just I nourished it still in my head, and every time I listen to those songs from those artists, it have a nostalgic uh, effect on me. And my father, late after that, when I was a teenager, early teenager, maybe 11 years old, introduced me to Sabbath, Metallica, introduced me to AC/DC, Iron Maiden, and we discovered a couple of things together as well, like Megadeth. Didn't know Megadeth at all. I immediately discovered it. My mother was really into Guns N' Roses, um, into maybe late 80s, early 90s kind of rock and roll. And this is how my parents have a big influence on me, I must say, in terms of music. And my father, when I was a kid, he forced my actually forced my sister to take piano lessons, classic piano lessons. And when she played, I was really intrigued. I must say, I'm a little bit older than her, and it was always like um, behind her back, just looking at what she was doing. And after that, I just copied her and her pattern with her fingers on the board, and I got somehow better than her really quick, really quickly, and it pisses. Yeah, basically, she was pissed at me for that particular reason. But I followed piano lesson since I was like 8 years old, and after that, I was like, Dad, I'm kind of bored with this. I really want a guitar, really want to play rock and roll. And the reason why I wanted to pick guitar is really funny, man. I was a child, maybe 10, 11 years old, and this movie I will never forget with Jack Black. Could you guess?
Oh yeah, I'm
The
wondering.
red pick?
School of Rock.
The School of Rock, man.
Oh
School of
yeah,
Rock. It really had a
the best.
huge influence on me, man, when I was a child. So this is how I get into playing music and guitar, actually,
Hell yeah.
because I played piano a little bit before, but when I got into acoustic guitar and then after that electric guitar, one of I always, and it's funny because I one of my first professional guitar when I was maybe 16 years old was a Gibson SG because of Dewey Finn in the School of Rock.
That's awesome.
It's
That
Did
is
kind of
you
fun.
awesome.
did you ever play that game that Jack Black made? Brutal
Pick your
Legend.
destiny.
No, the Pick
What
of
is that?
Destiny is the movie. Brutal Legend's
It was
the
the
video
movie.
game.
Oh, Brutal Legend.
Yeah, I discovered so many bands from that game. It's completely heavy metal and old school classic rock based video
Yeah.
game.
Okay. I didn't even know that it existed. I'm not
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's
I'm not a
old, but
connoisseur.
it's great. Ozzy Osbourne's in it doing a voice. So is I think Lemmy's in it. All the
Nice.
old legends are in the game, which is really cool.
Nice. What's it called again?
Brutal Legend.
Yeah.
Brutal Legend. Okay.
It's like
I'll
probably on like Xbox 360 back in the day.
Yeah,
It's
PS2, I think. PS2 or
That's
PS3?
awesome.
No, 3
Yeah.
maybe.
I'm sure you can find it. You might be able to digital copy of it or something silly
Yeah.
nowadays.
That
It's
would be
fun.
awesome, man.
The
I'll jump
soundtrack
on
is
it.
like phenomenal. A bunch of bands you just listed are on there. It's like all the way old school back to like Diamond Head type stuff, and then all the way through to like modern black metal and death metal. So they're really cool.
That's really sick. That's really rad.
Hell yeah. Yeah, Jack's cool, man. He's got
He is
a
a cool.
he's got a
He's
good
cool.
energy. He
Yeah.
invented that instrument thing he's got going on, or like it's pretty neat. Definitely.
Really
He
love
loves
him.
music.
Really like this guy. Would like to meet him one day and tell him that I got into music because of him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll make that happen somehow.
We'll work it out, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Project
Thank-
plan.
yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Thank you, man.
That's definitely sweet. I'd like to meet him too and be like, hell
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, same. He's one of the celebrities I'd like to meet.
Yeah.
What about this next album for fuck man, don't even remember the name of his band. I actually
Tenacious
have a
D.
blank. Yeah, what about the next Tenacious D album?
Oh lordy.
Yeah, it's coming, I think. He's doing the tour to
Yeah,
promote
right.
it. Yeah, they're back together again.
Oh, I haven't seen any buzz about it.
That's awesome.
This is so rad. Can't wait
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah. Kyle Gass is his band name.
Yeah. Yeah, Carol Gass, and he has his chops, man.
Yeah.
He's really a good guitarist, and he plays like can really play articulate things on his guitar. Yeah, it's really good.
I remember that
Mhm.
music video that had it was Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters for
Yeah.
Best Song in the World.
Yeah. Yeah.
He played the devil.
Yeah. Remember that. This
Yeah.
was a good one.
Yeah.
Good part of the movie, actually, too.
Yeah,
Like
it was.
a big cathartic moment. I'm not sure if we can say it in English too, but a cathartic moment at the end of the movie
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
he
no, that
when
makes
he
sense.
beats
Yeah.
when he beats the devil.
Yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
Devil
That's
has
awesome.
that massive drum solo.
Exactly.
I'll change topics slightly. For both of you guys, is there anything that stood out to you so far this year that you've heard? Like anything you've been listening to?
At the moment,
Yeah, this recent release, I think Ripple put it out. Goat Major, I think. I forget the name of the album off the top of my head, but it's absolutely solid. The album name Ritual. I just pulled it up.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's a solid contender for at least me personally. Like top 3 of this year so far. Like I think it came out March. I don't remember, March 8th, I want to say, but I've pretty much had it on repeat since then. It's a really solid album.
nice.
Man, Ripple has been on fire the last like 2 or 3 years.
Oh, they really have, man. I don't think they've ever put out like a bad album in the last couple of years, man.
No,
It's
unstoppable.
crazy.
I was
Nice.
like, yeah,
Awesome.
dude. I was just actually listening to, I think it was Howling Giants on their label.
Oh yeah, they're really good too.
Yeah.
They worked with this band Thunder Horse, which was like one of my favorites. Like for even like the last couple years. Yeah, they're just really solid band, and they just keep putting out good stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's definitely a good band. They have a fun theme too, like just kind of like nerdy outer space, dreamy stuff, like
Hmm.
yeah,
It's always the best stuff, man.
yeah. Well, I think
Like you have you heard Frog Lord?
Yes.
Yeah.
Frog Lord.
He's
That's
he's
good, man.
he's been on our show
Those guys
actually.
crack me up, but they put out like some really solid heavy music, and like it's great. But like they have like this sort of silly vibe about it, and it's like I think some bands that like they don't necessarily take it too fucking serious, and I think that's when the creativity starts to really shine. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Frog Lord's
We
cool.
we had
We had
Frog Lord
some-
on our show a little while back actually.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
Oh no way!
Yeah, he's really super cool dude.
I'm trying to find my liner
Lord,
notes
this is
from
a
that
cool
one.
name, actually, too.
Yeah, he's
I
he's
asked
all
him
about
what
the
his
frogs.
favorite
It's
frog
his
was.
passion.
Yeah,
That's it. I'll
that's
add
good.
it
He was a
to my
good dude.
playlist.
He's got some something on the horizon.
Really like the last Black album.
Nice.
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
2022, Dark Waves. Listen to it. Actually, lately,
Uh oh.
listened to it a couple of times. from top to bottom. And last another album that I have in my playlist right now, just in front of me, is El Perro of.
Oh man, they're
Which
good.
yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I really like the Hendrix vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
he's the guy from Radio Moscow. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's it.
I
I
forget
think
his
it's.
name.
I actually really like to maybe a little bit silly, but one of my friends sent me the last Sam Roberts album. Do you know Sam Roberts?
No.
He is a guy from Montreal. Actually, he plays like indie rock and roll, more on the rock and roll end of things. A little bit
Okay.
more soft rock, maybe. It's really cool. The Beatles band, really like the Beatles band too. More funky stuff. Really like to. I really like stoner rock and doom metal, but I really like to discover other things as well. Yeah, out of the knees.
That's good.
All the stuff too that I've added on my playlist is the album Magnetism from Scorpions. Really
Nice.
didn't
Ooh, good one.
didn't like that much Scorpions before, but I kind of discovered it. Scored really nice. Oh, and yeah, man, this fucking album from Mutoid Man,
Yes.
Man,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Oh
dude,
yeah, that's a
good.
that's a great one.
this
Yeah.
is total madness. So yeah, for sure.
It's like a really fun like version of the Misfits or something, you know? It's like so good.
Yeah, it's remind me a little bit of a blend between High and Fire and Mastodon.
Hmm.
Uh, maybe more straightforward, and there's really cool melodies in those.
Yeah. No, I feel like all the songs are pretty fucking good.
Yeah, exactly, man. This is what I think
Those
too.
are hearts.
Have any of you guys heard the new Judas Priest album?
Oh yeah. I
I
heard
did not. No.
It's so good. It's unbelievably good. Like no one saw it coming, but it just like it's like the best thing they've done in like decades.
Yeah, to be
And-
honest, I didn't even realize they had another one out, but that's interesting.
I kind of put it on. I was like, all right, here we go. Whatever, it's going to be fine. And then
yeah,
Rolling
Rob is like,
Stones did one too.
right,
yeah.
but
The
Rob
Rolling
is just
Stones did
on
one.
point. He hits some like painkiller notes in this album.
Ooh.
One of my friends sent me earlier today as a joke, like, there's a Bon Jovi that that released a new single, and it's really not cutting it, man. So, but all of those bands, the old bands try to
Come
release
back.
a new album. Usually, it
Yeah.
kind of sucks, but the Rolling Stones did a great job, I think, and I'm really curious to listen to the new Judas Priest album.
Yeah, I heard Bruce Dickinson's was really bad. He did like a solo album that just came
Yeah.
out.
Oh no way.
Apparently, it was not good.
Oh no. Yeah,
Oh,
but
Weren't
usually,
people basically saying the same about the recent Metallica album? Like a lot of people just weren't
Yeah.
impressed.
Yep, that was me. I just thought
I
the
think
songs
these
were way
guys
too
just
long.
gotta, just make some room for the new guys to make their mark.
but 72 Seasons is,
Yeah.
uh, in my opinion, is one of the worst Metallica album ever made.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
agree.
like it lacks so
Punch.
much imagination, and it's just like something that was already done, but maybe like recycled riffs and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't like the album, and it sounded a little bit too high end to my ear. It's not like they tried to sound like thrash metal, but it wasn't thrash enough.
right.
So
And also,
I don't know.
the songs were way too long. They could have cut like the song lengths down by like a third, and it would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes like I love songs that are longer, like
Same.
they
Yeah.
give me a 7 minute long sludge song or something wild, I'm
Yeah.
all for it. But then like once it gets like too, I don't know, it's
Forced?
almost just forced.
Yeah, it was forced. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't
You,
long
you
because
you have to be like really creative about it in order to make it actually sound listenable. Like
Yeah.
not everybody can pull off like a dope smoker and it'd be fine at the end of the day. Have you ever heard Interstellar Voodoo by St. Karloff?
Yes.
Yeah.
San
Yeah,
Carlo.
that's one of those like
24-minute
42-minute
long
long
song, right?
songs.
I really
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's
San
a very
Carlo.
long song, but like every 4 to 5 minutes is different, but
Yes.
like they sort of all focus sort of around the same construct, but it's a really creative way to keep the interest over the course of like 42 or 43 minutes, however long it was.
Yeah, man, it's really important to have variations in the music. Even if it's like a 5 minute song, you have to evolve and you
Mm-hmm.
have to create some new path that has not been explored yet. I think it's really important to have this kind of reflection when try to compose some things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Like
For sure.
it's part of the innovation of all of this. You can't recreate what's already everything has been created,
Yeah.
but you can always like innovate and see things, approach things differently. Yeah, and maybe think outside of the box a little bit.
You also
For
can't.
sure.
You also can't force it because, like, the audience can tell when you do. It's like the
Yeah,
listener knows when something doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
So I've got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest difference between, I guess, the Canadian and US music scene?
I mean, this is a really good question.
yeah.
But if we talk like geographically, the United States it's a much bigger market than Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And just to set up like it is possible to set up like a 20 dates tour, or for example set like a 8 days tour on the East Coast and then take a break, and
Mhm.
after that you can do like for example uh, the South, yeah, get to Texas, and after that do another tour, for example, in the Southwest, starting from Nevada to California, and then after that you can go to the other corner, like Northwest, and it is no all other tours. So you can basically do the four corner of the United States in the same year, and it's totally different. In Canada, it's really more complicated. It's a smaller country, smaller markets, I think, and basically,
Mhm.
50% of the population of Canada lives in between Montreal and like the Horseshoe region, in Toronto, Hamilton, and all that stuff. So it's a really small market. So
Yeah.
you can't really repeat. You can do it maybe once or twice a year. Sorry, the same path, from Quebec City, Montreal, and after that you go to Ottawa, go to Toronto, Hamilton, maybe London, maybe Niagara Falls. But after that, you have to, if you want to do a whole Canadian tour, it's really much more complicated. You have to travel, for example, from Toronto to Sault Ste. Marie. It's like 8 hour drives. From
Yeah.
Sault Ste. Marie to Thunder Bay, it's like another 8 hour drives. From
Yeah.
Thunder Bay to Winnipeg, it's like 10 hour drives. And like you get into the prairie, there's nothing. Um, from Winnipeg to Regina, there's again 7 hour drive. So it is really fucking long distance, and the markets are kind of small before you arrive to Calgary. And between Calgary and Vancouver, and even Vancouver Island, there's some cool stuff, but it's like at the other end of the continent, basically. So
Yeah.
you can do a full tour. It's almost not possible.
It's
Right.
interesting because that's the exact same issues bands face with Australia. It's
Yeah.
like
I can
we
imagine.
like two major cities, well, two really big cities, I should say, which is Sydney and Melbourne, which is over half the country's population.
Yeah,
And you've got the only other really big ones are Sydney and Adelaide and Perth, and they're all so far apart. Like same thing.
Yeah.
It's just such a big country with nothing in between. So yeah,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Australians feel your pain.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
continent. If you want to do a Australian tour, it's basically a continental tour. It's the same as Canada, basically.
Yeah,
But
basically
Yeah,
if
pretty
you
much.
if you want to do United States, there's always like uh,
regions.
it's always possible to do like 2 hours drive on the northeast. There's like maybe 10 major markets
Yeah.
on the east coast, and after that, Silence then told me that on the west coast, California, it's a bit more complicated because
Mhm.
the distances are maybe more. Uh, yeah, there's more distance between for example, San Francisco to LA. It's maybe
Yeah.
5 hours drive.
Yeah.
So yeah,
West Coast can be difficult because you go San Diego, LA, Orange County, really close, easy.
yeah,
But then, like you said,
yeah,
you go San Francisco, then it's a bit of a jump from San Francisco to Portland, and then
yeah,
Portland, same with Portland to Seattle.
yeah, exactly. Portland to Seattle is how long is a drive?
It's like 5 hours, 6 hours. Let me check.
Yeah.
It's kind of long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look that long, but sorry, I was wrong. Just over 3 hours without traffic. So I think with
Okay,
traffic, probably like 3.5.
okay.
Yeah, I used to live near Portland, but I never did the drive to Seattle.
And after that, you have to go to Vancouver
Yeah,
when you're
that's
in
right there.
Seattle. So yeah, this is really cool. Vancouver, and actually a hidden place, man, that has to be visited if you go to British Columbia. Is Victoria on the Vancouver Island. It's really
Uh-huh.
beautiful. It's a beautiful town, and there's a cool scene there.
Is that the one with
I
all
think
the island that's completely covered in wildflowers every spring?
I'm not sure though.
There's one I always see pictures of around Vancouver somewhere there that looks really beautiful.
Oh yeah, maybe so, but I'm not sure. I must say, but
Vancouver in
it's like
general looks really cool. I've never heard a
Yeah.
bad thing
In
about
general,
it.
it's a beautiful area.
it's a beautiful town. It's really like the mountains there. It's yeah, really like the wildlife too. And yeah, basically when you have you when you are in Vancouver, actually, it's not that complicated to go to Alberta, to Calgary, and then Mountain. There's a couple of nice spots to stop by. For example, Kelowna.
Nice. That's awesome. Well, if Fred, have we covered everything with you guys that you have coming up?
Um, yes, of course. We're planning on maybe add something. We plan to we are we are on the process to make a music video actually.
Oh, cool.
There's this guy in Montreal called Frank Apache who is working with actually he's working with AI. And first I was a little bit skeptical about this, but he came by with this idea, and I think it was really interested. It was really interesting actually what he showed to me,
Mhm.
and we'll go with it, man. It will be a sci-fi based. Actually, this time it will not be based on Dune. It's an old or like a sci-fi universe based on many things, man. It's
Okay.
basically something never seen before, or influenced by like 60s and 70s horror and sci-fi movies.
Oh, cool. I'm excited to see that. Do you know when that's going
We're
to be airing?
excuse me.
Do you know when that will be coming out?
Yeah, it will be coming out at the end of May, something like that.
Oh, awesome.
We're still working on this, but it's a long process. But it will be out just before our album is out on June 7th.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome. That's exciting. Ryan, what
Yeah.
about you? Have you got anything else coming up?
Oh man, we've got a pretty packed spring. I guess the next biggest thing, we have an EP release for Cannabis, The Other Side, which is coming out on 4/19, right before 4/20, appropriately timed, I guess you could say. Um, we've got the next Hazy Tones full length record coming out May 10th.
Nice.
Obviously working with Sons of Arrakis here on their next album. Soon we'll be announcing the next full length for Occult Witches out of Sherbrooke. That should be a summertime release this year, and there's a couple of tours in the works here with Frédéric, and some stuff off to the side. So we've got a really busy spring coming up this year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe
It's nice
one
to keep
thing.
busy.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe one thing that is that could be said is that Ryan and I are beginning to work a lot more together because I started this booking agency in Quebec called Astrosonic Productions, and
Mhm.
it's at first I didn't really want to start something like that more consistently, but Ryan always pushes me to book some bands, and they're from Ontario and all across Quebec and all that stuff, and I was beginning to feel like it was time to start something more consistent for the booking. So yeah, basically, next thing coming up is Occult Witches in Montreal. Um, yeah, Cannabis for their EP release. They will be playing in Montreal too, and that's pretty much it for the moment. But we continue to work hard and try to develop the Canadian scene as much as possible. I think it's a hard task, but it's beginning to look like something really really nice.
Yeah, something is definitely, growing here. Like we've got like a good network of people. We've got Jean-Michel from
Yeah,
Strange Valley Productions. He's working Ottawa for us. We're working with Sam from Riff Mountain for our Kingston dates. Working with Martin up in Sherbrooke. Like there's just we have like a good web of people now, and we have pretty much
yeah,
ready access to any sorts of runs that are like between like 6 to like we'll call it like 12 to 15 shows, like, so it's starting to become like a good hotspot here, and all the local bands are really just they're kind of grabbing onto this momentum, and I think everybody's kind of feeling a little bit elevated from this, so it's good to see.
yeah. And there's always like those local promoters that are willing to help us. For example, like Elise from La Loba, Ryan, that is
Yeah,
always
yeah, for sure.
willing to help out in Montreal, Quebec City, and there is Luis Gomez in Sherbrooke, who has his promotion company too rolling down there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's beginning to look like a network, like a proper network of nice, nice people to collaborate with.
Yeah, that's the important thing too. Like all these people are just super nice to work with and pleasant people, Not they don't
Yeah,
take it too seriously. Like people take it seriously enough because, this is like, to be honest, this is a business what we're doing, right? But they don't take it they're not too I don't know, they just don't take it too seriously is all I'm saying, I guess.
yeah, and it's not about the money for the moment. It's about like building something that's really coherent, and yeah, to draw the attention of the bands that are located in the United States or even Mexico or even Europe. So it's nice
Yeah.
if they reach out. I'm sure that we can definitely put something cool for them and try to obtain the best conditions for them too. That I think that's really something important.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on that. I hope it keeps growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you guys.
Ryan, I've asked you this before, so I won't make you do it again. But Fred, I
I
have a
already know what
question
it
for
is.
you that I ask everyone who comes on the show, which is, if you were stuck on a deserted island and you had 3 CDs, just 3, to listen to on repeat and a solar-powered Discman until you got rescued, what would you want to have with you?
Shit, this is a hard question. Ryan, can you go first?
Oh, he wants you to do
my
it
my
too,
answer
Ryan.
changed since last time, so I don't mind doing it again. Um, Illusionary Reality by Liquify. I've been digging that a lot. It's really good psychedelic instrumental stuff. The guy is just an absolute shredder. Like he's really good to listen to. Um, Recently, Mastermind by Occult Witches. I haven't been able to get enough of that album since it came out. Like it's
Right.
just every single track on that album is just absolutely solid. It's really good release by those guys. And still, same as the first time, the debut album Velvet Magic by Devil's Witches.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a great album.
No, it's so good, man. I can't get enough of it still. It's been like 6 or 7 years, I think.
Yeah. Maybe.
I think it was like 2017 or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's still up there in my queue.
They had a couple. Where'd it go? They always do those like singles, or I haven't seen anything new from them in a minute. But yeah, what was the Guns, Drugs, and Filthy Pictures and all that fun stuff?
Oh yeah, that one's good. That
But
one's really good.
yeah, Velvet Magic was 2017.
Well, they had their last full length too that was released in I want to say 22, sometime in October.
Yeah.
October 22. Yeah, but that's been a while still. But that was a really good release as well. I know that got a lot of attention.
That's definitely good stuff.
We're stressing out, man. But okay, maybe for my albums, 3 albums would be Crosby, Stills, and Nash. The first one. I would say the second one, Master of Reality from Black Sabbath, which had a really huge influence on me. And third one, yeah, I have something in my phone right now that I was looking into my playlist, and I would say Rush, man, Hemispheres. Rush, man, it is a fucking good album. I think it's their absolute best album, and yeah, man, I really got into Rush when I was a kid and never got back from it, man. It's amazing. So Black Sabbath, Master of Reality is one of my favorite albums as well. Really influenced me. And Crosby, Stills and Nash is really different from the more heavy rock stuff. But I really like, man, the musical sense of those guys, the melodies, the harmonies. It's really nice. I think it's really more on the soft rock. It's more soft. It's sweeter and it's more relaxed. I like the vibe that it offers me. I like the emotions that it's. Yeah, I like the emotions when I listen to that record.
Hell yeah!
Basically, this. What about you guys? What's your third greatest album to bring on a island?
I feel like mine always change too.
It's a hard question to answer, man. Like you could ask me the same question tomorrow, my answers would change probably.
I know.
Or maybe not tomorrow, but next week at least.
Exactly, man. Me too. And same for me, Ryan. I totally feel what you mean there.
Oh, it's definitely
a dilemma.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's a good thing this is only a hypothetical question you're asking. Otherwise, we'd be fucked.
Like if we had to really commit, you might be screwed. I don't know. I think I might. I've been on such a Credence kick.
Ooh, nice.
You know, I'd bring some of that. Can't. Oh man.
What about Graveyard?
Right now, just because I've been listening to it a lot lately, is the Earth Bong Rights. That's a really great piece of music, and it
I'll have to check that out.
Gives you the fun heaviness, and then Riff Lord. There was a really cool album from them, 7 Cremation Ground and Meditation. It's like I don't know. It's really good. It's up your alley. I think you'd enjoy it.
Nice.
So Riff Lord.
Heavy blues, stoner, metal kind of. It's great.
What about Graveyard, High Singing Blues?
Ooh, High Singing Blues is an awesome one, man.
Yeah, this one is really cool, right?
Yeah, those are really good tunes. They're from Sweden, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There's another cool album, man. I really like, man, Wolf Mother, the first album.
Oh yeah, that was good. I remember listening to it as a kid and being like floored by it.
Yeah, man, really floored too. There's this band from Montreal. I'm not sure if you know those guys, but Priestess.
I know High Priestess.
What happened to Wolf Mother? Are they still a thing?
No, actually, they Wolf Mother.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened with them. I know that they released like a couple of albums after like Cosmic Eggs, but we don't really hear from them anymore.
Yeah, they went away. They're Australian, I believe. And
yeah. exactly.
They were playing like a free show in my town, completely free, and I had to work and couldn't go, and I was so bummed about it because I was in like an old factory, and it would have been sick.
And,
But
where was it?
in a town I lived in Australia called Toowoomba.
Toowoomba.
Yeah, it's a small town. I was living there when I was younger.
Okay, nice.
I guess my three, if I had for something heavy, I do Triptychon's Melina Chasmata, which is, if you don't know the Triptychon, they're the continuation of Celtic Frost. And then for something chiller, I do Annabelle Dream Reader by The Witches, which is like psychedelic noise rock / surf punk. And then for something chiller, it's going to be either a classic like Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here.
Oh yeah, that's a good choice, man.
Or some trippy pop stuff like John Congleton and the Nighty Night with Until the Horror Goes. So that would be my three.
Nice.
Nice, man. Nice
Good choices.
Thank you. Gotta have variety.
Yeah, for sure. Chill stuff is always nice for a late night when you wanna after work, especially on a desert island. A lot of work to do with
Survival
survival skills and all.
Finding your coconut to make into Wilson.
Exactly.
So
I'm sorry to say, guys, but my phone is going to die any second here. So if I cut out, you know what happened to me.
All right.
So the last question before we wrap up is, Fred, if people want to follow the band or support you guys, what's the best place to do that?
The best place to do that would be, of course, I think Bandcamp is a really go-to to encourage bands. Spotify, give us a spin. I think it's really worth it too. Another place where it could be you could be buying our vinyl if you like, for example, if you like the songs, if you like a couple of the songs that you listen on Spotify or Bandcamp, maybe you can buy the digital album first, and then if you are really into it, you can go visit like the Black Throne Productions website and buy a vinyl or buy a CD. And there's a pre-sale for Volume 2 as well that is live on blackthroneproduction.com. So if you want to visit, if you want to spin our music, if you want to take a look to our new vinyl, if you want to take a look to our new merch, that would be really amazing. We would be really grateful for this, for sure.
Of course. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We lost Ryan, so we'll say goodbye to Ryan.
Yeah.
But, Thanks for coming on. It was great chatting to you guys.
Hey, thanks to you guys, James and Brandon. That was really nice. It was a blast, to be honest. Really wish to talk to you again soon and in the near future. That would be nice.
Yeah, we could touch base sometime later after your new album, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, man. Whenever you want, I would be pleased to talk to you again, man.
Great, us too. And for everyone listening at home, thank you so much for tuning in, and come back next week. We will have another guest for you.